I want to address the continued conspiracy theory that the Capitol attack on January 6th was conducted by anyone other than the people who had been sent there by the president, had been planning for weeks to go there at the behest of the president. Everybody still seems to think on the right that it was Antifa and all of that. And I want to talk about one very particular, very obvious demonstration of how untrue that is. So in tweets after the Capitol insurrection, Representative Marjorie Greene falsely suggested that those who had broken into the Capitol were not Republicans, and instead falsely implied so-called Antifa, dressed as Trump supporters, were to blame. Senator Ron Johnson has been doing this just this last week, actually. Right-wing media like Tucker Carlson is a little bit less interested in saying who they think it was, but they're definitely saying who it wasn't. It wasn't white supremacists or anything like that, despite the fact that it very obviously was. But here's the thing with some of the people making these claims. They know damn well that it was Republicans because they know the particular Republicans who were there. And Marjorie Greene is one of the people I'm talking about here, because one of the people who attacked the Capitol is Anthony Aguero, a conservative live streamer, activist, and associate of Marjorie Greene, who said on video following the January 6th assault on the Capitol that he had been among those who entered and attacked those who falsely claimed it was done by Antifa. So we're gonna have his quote in a second, but I was saying this like the week after the attack, that half the right is saying, no, it was a false flag, it was Antifa. And the other half, those who were actually there were like, stop trying to take our credit. I'm a Republican and I attacked the Capitol. And they're just talking past each other. But anyway, he said, we were all there. It was not Antifa and it was not BLM. It was Trump supporters that did that yesterday. I'm the first to admit it, being one myself. I walked amongst all those people, he said. Now, he and Marjorie Greene have worked together closely over the years on causes such as immigration and the border wall, and have attended pro-Trump rallies together. In many since deleted videos, Greene repeatedly called him amazing and a friend. On social media, Aguero has called Greene one of my closest friends. So apparently these two close friends were pretty close to each other on January 6th. We don't yet know that there was any coordination or any tours in advance, but one of her best amazing buddies was there busting into the Capitol and hunting down Democratic lawmakers. So that's a fun little development, Rashad.
Yep, good to see the Ku Klux clowns doing things and taking off their hoods. They are saying, we are them. We are the ones. Blame us. Okay, great. You all are domestic terrorists. That's who you are. And the reason why they are domestic terrorists is because what they did was intimidation, violence, and criminality to impact politics in the United States of America. That is your working definition of terrorism. Let's be very clear, and I've said this before, if their last names would have been Muhammad, or their skin would have been black and brown, they would absolutely been called terrorists. But we tend to shy away from that terminology as it relates to them. And outside of that, what were they trying to accomplish? They were trying to accomplish a treasonous act against the United States government. You can't lose that in the conversation. When you look at those articles of impeachment for Donald J. Trump, it says, yeah, leading an insurrection against the Capitol. You know what that really means? That means treason. Now, they didn't use that terminology, and I know why, because it would have been a political firecracker. But you have a president of the United States that led a treasonous mob of terrorists against the United States of America.
Yeah, 100%. And that's why we're talking about this a lot recently. We want to make sure that people know what's actually going on, what it actually was, as so many people in right-wing media are attempting to rewrite that, and right-wing politicians like Greene are still lying about what it was, even though their buddies were there doing it.
They're besties.
They're besties. Squad goals or squad ungoals. Not interested in that squad. But so what I also want to talk about though is that we're facing a group of people, millions strong, that are prone to believing every conspiracy theory they hear. They are hateful and xenophobic and selfish and all of that. But the one thing we have going for us is that almost universally, they're also very, very, very stupid. So in the pre-show today, I was talking about how one guy who's now been arrested, who was at the Capitol, while he was attacking the Capitol, was texting his ex photos of him there and videos saying, "How stupid are you that you don't know this election was fraudulent, you stupid moron." And so she sent that to the FBI and he's been arrested. So what do you, dude, you moron, it's your ex, you stupid idiot.
Whoever she is, I love this woman already, never met her before in my life. But she said, "I got your moron for you."
Exactly. And now this guy, remember, he filmed himself and live streamed during the event. And then, oops, you're breaking the law, doofus. So now he's got to come up with some sort of explanation for it. And so the explanation sort of changes depending on when you ask, but he was reached for comment by CNN. He told CNN that the videos uploaded, compiled, are not mine. They're screen recorded from other posts that I saw. He didn't respond to further questions asking to specify which videos are screen recorded. And understand, screen recorded or no, he's in the videos in the Capitol. I don't care if you screen capped it, dude, it's you.
You gotta love it. You gotta love redneck logic. That's all this is. This is redneck logic. Because I promise you, to him and some group of rednecks in the world, this makes complete sense to them.
Totally. Yeah, so that argument doesn't really hold up. So he's got another one. And he eventually confirmed to CNN he was at the Capitol, but he said, "I was there as an independent journalist reporting the events. I wasn't like down with that group. I was just filming it. Screw them. I'm just letting you know what they did." Which is interesting because he said in the video, a message was sent. These politicians are not going to continue to get away with the abuses they've been doing. We will continue to press on these individuals. Wait, what do you mean we? I thought you were just a journalist who was reporting independently on the events, not a we who's pressing on the politicians, you stupid idiot. Like, these people have a lot of political power still. The fact that they're stupid doesn't mean that they're not a terrible opponent to have, but they're also very, very stupid.
They are, and they're cowards. I mean, look at what it took for him to abandon everything he's supposed to believe in, all of his patriotism, all of his vigor. What did it take? It took an email from CNN. Yeah, like that's all. Like whatever you believed in evaporated once somebody asked you a question.
Yeah,
that's not the guy you want at the dance with you. You don't want him at the bar with you. You don't want him at a bar fight with you. That's not the guy.
Exactly. You get in that bar fight, you'd all get arrested. He'd be like, "I was just covering the bar fight.
No, he would tell on you.
Rashad did it." Anyway, and bear in mind, it's not like the FBI needs my advice or whatever. But I would personally say, as you're investigating this thing, and apparently according to the reporting of Ken Klippenstein at The Intercept, they have seized phone records, including phone records of some members of Congress. I'm just saying, the fact that she was there and her good buddy who's awesome was there, maybe look into their phone records and see if maybe they had talked before the event, and maybe Representative Greene had some idea of what this awesome bestie of hers was planning to do. Not saying anything, just saying.
Congressman Hank Johnson, I've known him and his family for many years. When all this went down at the Capitol, he was the person I called not to do a story. I just wanted to make sure he was safe, right? He came on my show the next day, and he was the first sitting congressperson who said this was an inside job. He said it was no way all of these barriers broke down and these people knew exactly where to go. They were leading different mobs throughout different places in the Capitol. He said this is an inside job on some level. And I really hope the Department of Justice is going to research and investigate based on that notion, that there are likely operators within our federal government who coordinated, cross-coordinated with members of this terrorist group.
Yeah, I agree. For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.